Good morning. My name is Robert Bennett, principal of Kearsarge Regional High School. I want to thank Bill McKinley and Steve Shepard, who played the bagpipes for us this morning. Both Bill and Steve work in the district, and we thank them for being part of our ceremony today. Before we begin, it's important to acknowledge a few individuals who have made today possible. Missy Owen, our piano accompanist. Peter Bianchi, the senior class advisor, who takes endless amounts of hours outside of his job as a math teacher here to make this ceremony possible and to help get our senior classes to this day. R.C. Brayshaw for the senior signs and the programs that we will be giving to our seniors after the ceremony. Both Tom and Keith Roberts are alumni of Kearsarge Regional High School, and we appreciate them giving back to their school. Our maintenance department, Steve Damaris, Todd Fleury, and the entire crew who helped put today's activities together behind the scenes. Our senior class guidance counselor, Peter Angus, and our other school counselors, Nicole Tenney and Rebecca Schrader, along with administrative assistant Barb Calvert, for their work in helping getting the class of 2020 prepared for today's events. Our dedicated teachers and support staff who help our students throughout their four-year journey here today. Our office staff, Ellie Philides, Patty D'Angelo, Gina Fletcher, Rhonda Gauthier, and Rita Deschaines, who are truly the people who make things happen behind the scenes, all of the unseen things that the public doesn't see that helps our building run smoothly. Our SAU and school board teams for supporting the high school and supporting our graduates. And to our administrative team, Dr. Amanda Downing, Laura Newman, Scott Fitzgerald, and Jerry Fine, for their countless hours with families and students making this day possible. I'd also like to take a moment to thank two staff members that will be leaving Kearsarge Regional High School this year. We want to thank them for their work and their dedication to our students and families. Rita Deschaines, our Special Education Department Administrative Assistant, and Melinda Wilder, our ELO and online coordinator, will be moving on to new adventures in their life, and we thank them for their dedication to our students. School Board Chair Bartholomew, Assistant Chair Allison Maston, Superintendent Fenneberg, Assistant Superintendent Bissett, members of the school board, administrators, and those watching today. Welcome to the 50th commencement exercises at Kearsarge Regional High School, celebrating the accomplishments of the class of 2020. At this time, I'd like to invite the senior chorus forward, who will be singing the national anthem, and then following that up with the song, I'm Still Standing, on the direction of Robert Harrington.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? It's like your blood like winter freezes just like ice, and there's a cold and lonely light that shines from you. You'll wind up like the wreck you hide behind that mask you use. Because you think the school could never win, well look at me, I'm coming back again. I got a taste of love in a simple way, and if you down the road and leaving me again. The threats you made were meant to cut me down, and if our love was just a circus, you'd be a clown by now. Don't you know I'm still standing better than ever did, looking like a true survivor, feeling like a little kid. I'm still standing after all this time, picking up the pieces of my life without you on my mind. I'm still standing, yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 I'm still standing.
Thank you to the senior chorus and to Mr. Harrington. At this time, I would like to welcome Kearsarge Regional School District Superintendent Winfried Fenneberg to the lectern for the superintendent's address.
Welcome to this wonderful day of honoring the achievements of these young adults who have successfully completed their high school education and who are ready to take on the next important steps in their lives. Of course, we are all aware that this celebration is not exactly the way we expected it to be or the way we have always marked this occasion. But then again, not much has been the same in those last 3 months of dealing with a global pandemic, social distancing, remote learning, excessive hand washing, and disruption of many of our cherished routines. Today, though, is not a day to look at what we do not have or cannot do. Today is a day to share our joy, to express our pride, and to focus on the accomplishments of every young person who will walk across the stage and receive their diploma. Every one of them has worked hard, has successfully met all requirements needed for graduation, has adjusted to the new demands of the last few months, and has done it with dedication, conviction, and a can-do spirit for the whole world to see. Before we move on to the really important part of this broadcast, let me reflect with you for a moment on 2 lessons you all have learned and embraced during the final months of your high school education. Keep those lessons with you and apply them to whatever you endeavor in the future, and it almost certainly will enrich your life and the lives of those around you. I'm talking about social responsibility and committing to flexibility. Unlike any other graduating class in recent or distant memory, you as individuals and as a group have quickly learned to practice social responsibility. At a time when as seniors you could reasonably expect to enjoy each other's company at school events or in class, you embraced remote instruction and virtual learning in your home. At a time when you typically would celebrate your own and your team's athletic successes during spring season, you stayed at home and observed social distance. At a time when you should have had fun on class trips, should have hung out at parties, spent time on the beach, or gone shopping with friends, you maintained your 6-foot margin between you and others to keep them and yourselves safe. As you were called upon to think of others and their needs, you became creative and utilized whatever means you had to connect, support, communicate, and inspire through smart use of technology and available social media. You built a virtual community where a physical one was not accessible. You shot YouTube and TikTok videos to share your experience when you could not physically get together without endangering your friends, teachers, relatives, or community members. I saw many of those productions and posts, and without exaggeration, I am in complete awe as to how you transformed a crisis into an opportunity. As you move on to the next phase in your life, continue to practice social responsibility and caring for the well-being of your fellow citizens as you have done during this ongoing health crisis. I promise you, you will make the world a better, safer, and happier place for all. Take along with you also the second lesson that you have to learn and apply during the last few months as a student at Kearsarge High School: how to commit to flexibility. In the future, there will be situations you cannot control. There will be circumstances you will not want to deal with. There will be events that do not go as expected, as hoped for, as envisioned. There will be outcomes that do not allow you with much choice. So what have we learned? We need to be ready for the unknown. We want to keep a good attitude, adapt to new circumstances, change our expectations, and get to work. We want to see opportunities in the unknown. We want to assume positive intentions, as it is very likely that nobody wishes for things to go wrong and make your lives miserable. Your choice under the circumstances is to commit to making the proverbial lemonade when all you have is lemons. Being flexible will allow you to take care of yourself and others. You organize food drives when you know that people cannot take care of themselves. You create virtual fundraisers to get donations for good causes when you cannot go door to door and ask for contributions. You invent online karaoke nights when you cannot meet in person and enjoy the entertainment while sitting in front of your computer screen. Being flexible when confronted with inflexible realities also allows you to stay physically and mentally healthy. You lead by example and spread goodwill. You practice humility and show others the way out of frustration and desperation. All of you have shown us that this is already something you know how to do. Now make it your own, go conquer the world, and make us all proud. Class of 2020, I wish you all the best for the future. I thank you for your social responsibility you have shown, and I commend you for the flexibility you have practiced. Congratulations to all of you on a job well done.
I'm pleased to invite Class of 2020 member Molly Mayo to the lectern to deliver the Class of 2020 student address.
Hello, my name is Molly Mayo, and welcome to the Kearsarge Class of 2020 virtual graduation. I would like to start by saying a special big thank you to our senior class advisor, Mr. Bianchi, school administration, the camera crew, parents, students, and everyone else who made this possible. I would like to use this as a time to reflect on our class, so if you'll just bear with me as I blabber from my heart for a few minutes, that's all I need. To set the scene, my first day at Kearsarge started with an awkward 12-year-old Molly walking into the 7-2 cluster after already getting lost. Where I was then in my first period class, when the kid randomly assigned next to me looks at my name tag and says, "Molly with an I." He then proceeded to take my pencil bag without asking, looked for a pencil because he forgot one, and after a few seconds he stops and says, "Oh, I'm Brody." After this, on the way to second period French, Brody and I both didn't know where the class was, and as we're late and rushing, we were hissed at and told to get to class. While I was confused and a little scared, Brody goes, "Oh, that's Miss Bundy." And honestly, after that, I can't remember much, but leaving my first day overwhelmed and slightly frightened, but very excited, I knew I would be happy at Kearsarge. Now fast forward to the start of this year with our senior sunrise. I was the first one to arrive, and after sitting in the parking lot waiting for others to come, I started to regret deciding to get to the school at 6:30 in the morning. But shortly after, everyone trickled in, and all 13 of us ate donuts, drank hot chocolate, and maybe watched me rollerblade around in the parking lot a little bit. We just caught up about our summers before our first day of high school. With the best homecoming week I've ever experienced, we kicked it off with an amazing school dance, and the rest of the week had lots of excitement, school spirit, sporting events, and we ended with delicious tailgating grilled cheese, courtesy of Marissa Pickman. And even though we only had 6 months of school, we still got to end this year with a very memorable Winter Carnival week. It was filled with cheering, competition, lots of floor burn, and the senior class coming in 3rd place, we made sure to leave our mark on Winter Carnival. I believe that if you were to ask anyone in our grade, we would definitely not be described as an ordinary class. And now having a very unordinary graduation, it kind of works, right? While we could be sitting shoulder to shoulder, boiling in our gowns, and the crowd getting a nasty sunburn as we get to celebrate the class of 2020, I'm now not so sure if I'd want to have it any other way. This change has really brought our class together. We support one another more than ever before, and we've become stronger together. With amazing memories at Kearsarge, from friends to sports, Project Climb, and even the Disney trip and everything in between, I will cherish and hold dearly. But I think what I will be missing most are the little things in our community. Whether that be Mr. Hatton saying hello to everyone in the hallway, Dr. Downing chatting to us at lunch, or even Mr. Roddy's overused comebacks, I will never forget the time and commitment my teachers have given me to help shape me where I am now. I look at our class of 112 and feel very proud to stand next to my classmates and where we have come together. Rewinding a little bit back to middle school, we were told that we were the worst class to walk through those halls, and now we are leaving, proving ourselves, as we are going off to become nurses, teachers, pilots, actors, marine biologists, enlist in the military, and whatever greatness everyone is destined for. I would like to say thank you to the seniors for giving me a great high school experience. Thank you to all my teachers for dealing with my antics and for believing in my ability. Thank you to coaches for the countless hours of practice, games, and hard work. And on behalf of the rest of my class, thank you to all the parents, guardians, friends, and whoever supported and have been here for us. I love the Kearsarge class of 2020 and can never repay anyone for any life lesson I've learned. And ending with the wise words of our class president, seniors, roll tide.
I invite Ken Bartholomew, Chairman of the Kearsarge Regional School District School Board, to present the diplomas. Dr. Downing, can you please come forward to assist with the presentation of diplomas? Mr. Bartholomew, as principal of Kearsarge Regional High School, I present to you the class of 2020 and certify that those receiving diplomas today have met all graduation requirements set by the Kearsarge Regional School District and the great state of New Hampshire.
Rye Weston DeThomas Allard. Anthony Anderson. Marlise Elizabeth Smith Bear. Mia Gabriella Barone. Cameron Anthony Bennett. Benjamin John Blakesley. Xavier Blassingame. Giovanni Bostic. Caroline S. Bork. Bowden Brayshaw. Shannon Bro. Jordan Kathleen Bush. Bennett Call. Gabrielle E. Call. Benjamin Carl. Lucretia May Shabbat. Anjali Charlebois. Aaron Chouinard. Jenna R. Cook. Garrett James Cody. Juliette Talbot Cortine. Madison Taylor Davis. Aiden DeSalle. Alexander DeDominic. Gage Joel Dion. Maya Rose Doobie. Connor Dunn. Stephen Thomas Durling. Adian L. E. Elliott. Isabel Amore Fantasia. Morgan Elizabeth Fleury. Andrew Lawrence Flingstrom. Josiah Paul Gage. Patrick Andrew Geary. Dominic Jelina. Courtney Kidder Goodwin. Andrew J. Grillo. Trevor James Haas. Healy Farrand Hager. Connor K. Hallenborg. Nathan Harris. Madison Rebecca Hemingway. Livia Kathleen Hernan. Shannon Elizabeth Higgins. Haley Elizabeth Hogenkamp. Jake Paul Hubbard. Catherine Marie Kelly. Jackson D. Kulaks. Connor John LeBonville. Andrew Richard Lagos. Nicholas LeBlanc. Edward Leonard. Trevor Lima. Olivia Ashley Lord. Rosie Lucenti Kirkpatrick. Ellie Lynn Madigan. Isabel Grace Mann. Molly Shea Mayo. Aiden Spike McCullough. Elizabeth Shepard McKelvey. Mary Kate Marhar. Amber Lee Merrill. Caitlin Rose Messer. Brody Patrick Mulligan. Kylie Ann O'Keefe. Marcus Anthony Olson. Maximus Alexander Olson. Lily Grace Pelkey Jacobson. Alexis Marie Philides. Marissa Jane Pickman. Ashley Place. Stephen Dallas Reno. Christopher Todd Richardson. Brandon Xavier Ross Thompson. Justine Grace Ruggles. Peter David Russell. Seth Barrett Rutledge Davis. Cole Michael Schusler. Patrick Jerry Reeve Seward. Noah Shields. Tyler Sidmore. Elizabeth Schultz Sewell. McKenna St. Lawrence. Nathan St. Pierre. Isaac Christopher Stearns. Aaron Sullivan. Paulina Elizabeth Supernaut. Emily Victoria Swindell. Erin Louise Taylor. Aaron Thayer. Brianna Rose Tilton. Emily Jean Ventola. Brandon Allen Waddell. William Henry Moore, Class Treasurer. Jenna Lee Bears, Class Secretary. Shane Peter Boucher, Class Vice President. Edward James Stoll, Class President.
I would like to ask Edward Stoll, President of the Class of 2020, to come to the stage to present the President's speech.
I will say, this speech is a little different than the last one I gave. I'm missing the Winter Carnival headband and a table from the RC to stand up on. But good morning, or afternoon, or whenever you are seeing this. We finally made it. Our time here at Kearsarge Regional High School is soon coming to a close. For the majority of us, this is the end of 12 years here within the Kearsarge Regional School District. And oh, what an 11 and a half years it's been. We started our time as a collective class, just like any other class has, with 4 groups of kids from 7 different towns across 300 square miles, all crashing into each other. Things were pretty normal, and I think it's safe to assume we were at first thought of as a pretty average class. It's also safe to say we were anything but that. Middle school was a wild time, as we all know, but then we hit high school and oh boy, we had no idea what was about to happen. To kick things off, we started high school with a brand new schedule and grading system. Hey, do you know what time this class ends? I don't know, is it a Monday, Tuesday, or Friday? Am I passing this class? Who's to say? What's a competency? I don't know. It was an interesting start to high school, to say the least. From there on, it was just something new every day. Are the fire alarms gonna go off 20 times in one period? Maybe. Is the internet gonna go out? Probably. Is Tyler and Aiden gonna be slamming on their horns in the back parking lot at 7 a.m.? Most definitely. And I know you're all thinking of many other things that happened within our class over the years that made it unique. But then senior year started, and to be honest, it looked like we were going to have a fairly normal senior year. We started out smooth, nothing crazy happened, and it looked like everything was going to be okay. To follow the trend, we were once again dead wrong. Instead of having all the crazy stuff happen throughout the year, it just all hit within a month of each other in the second half. We lost Winter Carnival, and then boom, 3 weeks later, pandemic, and school was canceled. I mean, our last day of high school was Friday the 13th. It sounds crazy, like it's something out of a movie. Yet I don't think this is how the 50th graduating class of Kearsarge will be remembered. Yes, we had our reputation, and yes, we went through a lot, but we're more than that. I think it's fair to say we never fully united as a class. We just were always separated. Yet something changed at the start of senior year. We began to actually come together as one class. I saw people who were just classmates really become friends, and cliques dissolve into one another. People began to get involved. I saw people go out for new sports, go on climb trips, act in drama, join new clubs, go to dances. We were finally becoming a real class and experience high school together. And it's a good thing we did this when we did, because we were about to be tested hard, as we all know. However, this is what really proved it to me, that this wasn't a false sense of camaraderie due to senior year or senioritis or anything like that. When we lost Winter Carnival, instead of pointing fingers at each other or not caring or just falling apart like a lot of people I think thought we would, we did the opposite. We became even closer and hardened together. People legitimately cared about what happened, and we pointed fingers not at each other, but at the juniors and the staff and the sophomores and probably the freshmen and really anybody but ourselves. Looking back, though, that week I saw a class become really passionate about something. For the first time, we began to look out for one another and support each other. But little did we know that was just round one, and 3 weeks later, we would find out our senior year was in jeopardy. But the response from the class was unreal. In my time here at Kearsarge, I don't think I ever remember seeing a class act like that. To unite under one cause and to act as one solid, unified group. Seriously, when's the last time you saw that many kids show up to a school board meeting? It was incredible, and that's what I hope we are remembered here for. Not as a class that went through some crazy things, but a class that maybe didn't have it figured out at first, but by the end had become more unified than any other class here at Kearsarge. I think one person unintentionally summed this up pretty well. I would never forgive myself if I didn't mention our fantastic band director, Mr. Sean Anderson. In band, when we get a new song, we all have different parts. Alto sax 1, alto sax 2, trumpet 3, trumpet 4. Some of us have the melody, some of us have the counter melody, some have the bass line, and some have a solo. It's pretty easy to feel like your part might not matter, especially when the band is split up within 3 different classes and you don't get to hear everything. But something he always tells us is, you're all important, every single part, because without it, the piece is never the same. And I think that rings true for us. Every single one of you played a role in shaping each other's lives, even if you don't realize it. Without just one of us, our lives would not be the same they are today. And while it may have took us some time, when we came together as one big band or class and put our parts together, we became something incredible. Before I'd go, I'd like to say a couple thank yous. To the teachers and staff, thank you for providing us with guidance and opportunities. I'm sure every student can think of at least one teacher who made an impact on their time here at Kearsarge. To the coaches who volunteered their time for practices and games, thank you for allowing us to be able to enjoy something we love and create everlasting memories. To the parents who have always supported us, thank you for raising us to becoming the people we are today. And lastly, to the class. I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt to be delivering this to an empty auditorium. This was where I was gonna give some motivational saying about taking on the world. Yet truth be told, you don't need any more advice. This class has been tested greater than any other class here at Kearsarge, and you are all more than prepared to take on the world. So instead, I ask a favor of you. I ask for you to remember our days here. Remember the games, the dances, the practices, the rehearsals, the lunchroom talks, the public press speeches, the climb trips, the study halls, the Dunkin' runs, the SoundCloud battles, the bus rides, the winter carnivals, the door alarms going off early, saying hi to Roddy in the hallways, all of it. Because while it may be time for us to part ways and create our own paths in this ever-changing world, remember this class will always be here for you, and you'll always have a family and a place to call home. To the class of 2020, thank you for everything, and congratulations.
As we bring our ceremony to a close, I think it's important to consider that through all the negative that has come with the pandemic, there are still positives that this class can take with them. As I listed them on a piece of paper last night, I could not help but feel that 2 of them outshine the others that I had scribbled down. The first positive that we can take with us and that this class can take with them is a better appreciation for those around you. That's not to say that you don't appreciate people, but the current situation has taught us the importance of valuing people beyond the casual hello, the wave, or a head nod. The inability to see friends and loved ones on a regular basis reminds us of the importance of taking the time to stop and have a conversation, ask how someone is doing, offer assistance where needed, and possibly discovering someone's talents that may have gone unnoticed if not for the current situation. When the world returns to some sense of normalcy, will you remember to value the strengths that we have all gotten from each other? The second is the value of today. We have learned the value of the day, the moment. We've learned in the harshest of ways that tomorrow is not guaranteed. We hear that a lot. It's used by people in all sorts of settings. Over the past few months, we've had to come to realize that its true meaning. Things can be taken away in a moment's notice. There are forces in nature that don't care what someone thinks they deserve or that they've earned. Where you live or what you do, it will take without prejudice. These past few months reminds us of the short time we have to accomplish what we are destined to do. Looking to tomorrow and looking at the days that lay ahead of us blinds us from the importance of valuing today. Today is all we can really navigate. I found a poem by Ralph Waldo Emerson that brings the idea of valuing today, and I think it appropriately ends our ceremony. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. He is rich who owns the day, and no one owns the day who allows it to be invaded with fret and anxiety. Finished every day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and sincerely, with too high a spirit to be cumbered with your old nonsense. This new day is too dear, with its hopes and innovations, to waste a moment on the yesterdays. This concludes the 50th commencement exercises of Kearsarge Regional High School.